I think I was a bit braver with this record than I thought I would be. I think it's definitely my voice is bigger, and I think it's better than on my first record. I think I've lived with it, and it's worn out more than on my first record. But I've said this before, but I always think of a voice, especially with artists I like who have made many albums. It's like a leather pair of shoes, and the more you wear them, the better they look. And I kind of think of my voice and other people's voices like that.
The scars of your love remind me of us. They keep me thinking if we almost had it all. The scars.
Well, I was horrified before I was doing the second record, and I was kind of starting to think about it. Like in about 7 months, I'll start writing or start being in the studio or whatever to write a second record. I found that bit really, really daunting, and I was really, really frightened. The minute I actually got back in the studio, I was so excited to be back in the studio, and like I was desperate to write new songs as well. I lived with my first album like everyone else does. I'm not saying it's only me. Every other like debut artist lives with their first record a lot longer than everyone else does. And I was so like, I just kept getting really embarrassed that I was still singing these songs about a guy that I hadn't even seen for like 3 years. And I was like, he's been with about 30 women since me, and I'm still singing about him. It's so embarrassing. And then, so I was just desperate to write new songs, and I'd just broken up with my boyfriend then, and then, you know, and so I needed to write for my sanity.
Count your blessings to find what you look for. Turn my sorrow into treasure gold. You'll pay me back in kind and reap just what you sow.
Like emotion-wise, Paul just brought out this feisty side in me that I didn't even know really existed in terms of me singing. And I remember going to him, the first song we did together was Rolling in the Deep, and I had the first verse for ages, but I didn't sing it to him. And I went, and the night before I'd just broken up with the guy the record's about, and I went in and I was moaning and crying, and I was like, oh Paul, let's write a ballad. And he was like, no way, I want to write like a boisterous like song. So we did, and and then I just started, it was literally like West Side Story. I started singing the first verse of Rolling in the Deep a cappella, and then it was so like Glee actually, and then he picked up a guitar and stuff like that, and it was just like, it was created in about 3 hours.